Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmates. So today's video, I'm going to report about the qualified and disqualified voting. So if we will talk about vote or votings, we already know that the another part of responsibility of the citizens is voting. The law does not require citizens to vote, but voting is a very important part of any democracy. By voting, citizens participating in the democratic process, leaders, citizens vote for leaders to represent them and their ideas, and the leaders support citizens' interests. So now, let's go on to my topic. So who are qualified to vote under the Overseas Absentee Voting Law? First is the Filipino citizens abroad. Of course, being a Filipino citizens abroad are really qualified to vote. But if there's really a chance that they are not still registered yet, the overseas voters may file their application for registration at the nearest embassy or consulate, or the registration centers authorized by the Commission of Election. Next are those who are 18 years old and above on the day of election. Well, the age should be 18 years old and above because in this age, it is mature enough to determine what is right or wrong, or bad or good. And also, it is active and fully focused to know what is happening in his or her country. Next, immigrants with affidavit to resume in the Philippines. So those immigrants who want to stay in our country are also qualified, but upon registration, an affidavit prepared for the purpose by the Commission declaring that she shall resume actual physical permanent residence in the Philippines not later than 3 years from approval of her registration under this act. Last is the permanent residents with affidavit of intent to resume residence in the Philippines. So, just like immigrants, permanent are also qualified to vote, but they must really have those legal papers and must stay within 3 years. Such affidavit also states that he or she has not applied for citizenship in our country. Failure to return shall be the cause for the removal of the name of the immigrant or permanent resident from the National Registry of Absentee Voters, and his/her permanent disqualification to vote in absentia. Now, let's move on to number 4. Who are disqualified by law to vote in the Philippine elections? So first is the person sentenced to be imprisoned for not less than 1 year. Those citizens who have been sentenced by the court for at least 1 year and have not been granted a pardon by the president, however, any such person shall automatically acquire the said right upon completion of 5 years service of sentence. Next is the persons who committed rebellion, sedition, violation of the anti-subversion and firearms law, or any crime against national security or disloyalty to the government. Those who have violated their allegiance to the Republic of the Philippines, any person has been adjudged of final judgment by competent tribunal of having committed any crime involving disloyalty to the duty constituted government, such as rebellion, sedition, violation of the anti-subversion and firearms, or any crime against national security, unless restored his full civil and political rights in accordance with law. Such person shall likewise automatically gain his right vote upon expiration 5 years after service of sentence. The last but not the least is the insane or incompetent person. Insane or incompetent person declared as such by competent authority unless subsequently declared by proper authority. Such person is no longer insane or incompetent. So that is all my report about. Thank you for listening, and